computer. Well, hi there, everybody. This is Phil Simborg again from the Backgammon Learning Center, and I'm in Istanbul, and I had fun today practicing for the UBC. I played Mochy a 7-point match. Mochy's a junior player that some of you may have heard of. Everybody knows me, but maybe a couple people know Mochy. We played a 7-point match, and he got very lucky, and he was very lucky that he got to play me, and he was also lucky that he played at 1.6 PR. But I did take him to double match point. I played a little worse. Actually, I played very well, except for a series of some cube action at 2-away, 3-away that I missed several cubes in a row, which really destroyed my PR. But I'm not that unhappy with how I played. It was great practice. We had lunch together. We're having fun. And so I made a quiz out of it, of the 6 problems that were missed that I think are interesting. And I've invited one of my fellow teachers from the Backgammon Learning Center, pictured on your screen here, Ido Levi from Israel. Say hello, Ido.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Yeah, Ido, just to give you a little background, he's going to be here tomorrow. He's flying into Istanbul for the UBC to participate. I met Ido several years ago. I was very, very impressed that he was playing at very, very low PRs and nobody ever heard of him. In fact, some people even think he was cheating because nobody could possibly play under 3 PR that nobody ever heard of, that never went to a tournament. And some people even accused him. And I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I helped set up a live session with Ido and David Pressers, our other great teacher in Israel. And in the live session, he proved he could do it. And then he played live in a BMAB event. And I believe you played at under 2.4 PR in that event. Yeah, so this guy's a lot smarter than he looks. He is a very great player. And I worked with him some, and he's a very, very fine teacher. So go to www.backgammonlearningcenter.com. You'll learn more about Ido and our other fine teachers. And that's done with my ad. Now I'm going to show you 6 positions from the match today with Mochy. And I'm going to ask Ido what he would do. He's never seen these before. And then we'll see what the answer is. If you want to play along, and you want more time, you can always pause the video while you're watching it and see how you did. So let's get right into it. And let me get you out of the way here and make the screen bigger. Then bring down the match. And it's a 7-point match. We'll show the score every time in the situation. So the first position here, Mochy happens to be white and I'm red. And this is the first game. It's 7-away, 7-away, and red is on roll. And the question for Ido and all of you is, what's the cube action? And when I ask cube action, the question is, should red double? And if red doubles, should white take or pass? You have to come up with both. So Ido, I'll shut up here, give you a chance to see what you think. Then we'll look at the answer, and then we can talk about it. So give it.
All right. So just to get it straight, it's upside down because red is the one rolling, and you should be the one cubing.
Well, it may be upside down to you, but when you're playing, sometimes you're white, sometimes you're red. So red is on roll. Red is on roll. One thing I don't like about Extreme Gammon, and I'm working with Xavier to improve Extreme Gammon in many ways. I helped him develop it and market it, so I'm very much involved. I don't like the fact that the only way you know who's on roll is the color of the dice. There should be an arrow or something that's much more specific. But here,
yeah, that's why I wasn't sure at first. Yeah.
So, Ido, let's give it some thought here. What would you do? Would you double if you were red? And if you were white, would you take or pass?
All right. For me, the take seems for at least obvious. True, red has some wins. He's definitely favorite, but white doesn't lose all that many gammons.
You know, Ido, I'm not hearing you real well. Can you talk into the microphone or get closer to your computer?
Yes. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit. Yeah.
A little. All right.
Okay.
Yes. So for me, the take is pretty obvious. White loses some gammons, if I need to estimate, somewhere between 20–25%. He also wins some, so the take is pretty obvious for me. The question is more, should it be a take? Should it be a double? So the score is, I see, 0-0 to 7, so pretty much like a normal money game, nothing specific about the score. Something that I always like to do, of course, and I teach it as well, is put myself in my opponent's shoes. If I double, would my opponent take? In this specific event, the answer is yes. Then I need to think of other things. I can do a Hagen's law, I can do threat. But something that I really like to do always is try and estimate my winning chances here. This is something that I always like to do. Only if I'm not sure the opponent takes, then I just send in the cube and let him do it. So here again, nothing major, just based on my own intuition, I would say it's about 65-35 to red. Basing that red has a 3-point board, aiming to make a 4-point board and maybe even bigger. White is kind of in a blitzing position that's going nowhere. So I think 65-35 should be correct here. Give or take a few percentages here or there. Gammons, I would say it's about maybe 20 to 25%, basing on reference position, the 2 and the 1 point is 15%. And red might hit a third checker on the way, which might take it all the way to 35%. But we're not quite there, so I would say 20 to 25. Let's just give it something nice in the middle, 22, 23%. White can also win a few gammons, maybe 7-8%. So the calculation that I do is based on my estimations, 22-23% gammons for red, 8% gammons for white. So 23 minus 8 is 15. The gammon value at this score is half, so it's about 7.5, 8 in single games, added to about 65%. We get to about 73%. 73%, the cash point is 78.5, which means it should be, because we're close to the cash point, should be a double and a take.
Okay, now let's see the answer. I'm using plus, and it's close enough. I roll them out if it's too close. So you're absolutely right. It's a double and a take. Your estimates are very, very, very good. Look at the gammon estimate.
Yeah, okay,
right
67, 68, I said 65, but it's close enough.
Oh, very, very close. I'm very impressed. I want to tell you what happened. I doubled and Mochy passed. This is Mochy's only real blunder in the match. I told you he played at 1.6, so he can't do too many mistakes like this. And by the way, Mochy has a history of taking more than taking too much as opposed to dropping too much. So this is a rare situation for it. I'm sure it's because he was intimidated by me. You know, I do that to people. But here's what I find very interesting in what you said. I don't teach the way that you just explained it, because of course, I teach mostly intermediates and some low open players. Most people, including myself, are not able to do as well as you at estimating wins and gammons. And I don't predicate my double on the winning percentage or how close I am. If I know he's taking, I'm like, I agree with you. I start with Woolsey's law. I ask myself if I would take or pass. But if I come to the conclusion that it's a take, the only thing I care about is market losers. And you sort of do the same thing, but you weigh your market losers based on percentages. It's that most people can't make. With your incredible skills and playing skills allow you to do it that way. But I certainly hope in your teaching that you teach more about market losers.
Oh, of course, I teach market losers. I teach threat, because sometimes market losers is more difficult. Then I teach them to threat. But I always encourage them from the get-go to start evaluating. The sooner you do it, the better you become. The better you become, the more accurate your cubes will be.
Very, very good point. And I'm very, very impressed. Not only that you got it right, but you got the numbers so darn close. That's just, now I understand why you can play at 2.4 PR.
Nah, that was a different time in my life. I can't do that right now, but yeah.
Okay, so if you play under 4 PR, you're still my hero, you know, but we'll see. Because you're playing in BMAB starting on Monday. I'll be doing the commentary, and this is really impressive. Let's move on now. You're 1 for 1. Very good. Let's go to the second position. All right. Unless you have anything else to add about this position.
Again, we can do the analysis from the market losers perspective. Oh, actually, now I see it much better. We can do the analysis for market losers, but I think market losing sequences is a bit problematic here. Because even if red makes the 4 point and white makes, let's say, his 5 or 4 point, is this still a market loser? I don't think so. So it's a little bit tricky to do it in market loser sequence here.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, and by the way, one thing I think is very, very valuable that everybody should learn. First of all, everybody should have XG. Second of all, the dice distribution is really an amazing tool to help you see what might be your market losers. It tells you what your best rolls are and how many there are and how good they are and what your worst rolls are. And of course, you have to go to the second roll in his response, because as Ido pointed out, you have a heck of a great game if you make your 4 point, but not necessarily if he makes his 5 point. Or in this position, if you make the 4 point, he could roll double threes, or he could roll a hit. Or he could roll something really good on this side too. So you really have to look at both rolls to see market losers. But this also does show you a high percentage here of potential market losers. And according to O'Hagan's law, I'm very proud of John O'Hagan, who's also one of our teachers. He came up with a formula that says in this kind of a score, you need about 25% net market losers, and you're well over that. So that's why it would be a blunder not to double. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I played with John once. He's just an amazing player. Just the way he sings, it's very interesting.
Yeah, he's also an incredible teacher. I mean, I would say tremendous amount of what I know and teach about the cube in particular comes from John's personal tutoring of me. Okay, let's move on. This is a checker play problem. Now the score, as I showed you, I may have the score reversed here.
Yeah, I see the score. Red is leading 1-0. Is that correct, or should I need to change it?
It should have been the other way. It should be reversed. It should be. Oh no, the score's right. I won a point. Mochy dropped, so it's 6 away, 7 away, and Red's winning.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Next game, and Red has a 6-1 to play here. What would you do?
All right, so I guess 6. Okay, so Red wrote 6-1, so that's Mochy's roll. Okay. All right, so 1-0. Okay, it doesn't affect all that much. Maybe you should play a little bit more on the defensive side because you are leading, but nothing substantial. Okay, 6-1. I don't think the score affects the play all that much, to be honest. So I'm just going to go ahead and ignore it. If we had like loop-sided score, like 4-1, 4-0, then we can take it into consideration. But here I don't think so. So, all right. So again, 2 possible plays that I see. We can make the 3 point. We can hit 20 to 30. So I can also see that after the play, the race is pretty much even. That's something that I also see. All right. Let's see what happens if I'm going to hit, because this is just my first instinct. So if I'm going to hit, I'm going to be, it definitely helped me as far as the race goes. Going to be give her up maybe 15% up in the race. Yeah, something like that. Now, what is it that I'm hoping for? 3s are not good for me. 1s in most cases are not good for me. If he rolls even double 2s, am I happy? 5-2, am I happy? Probably not. So 1-1 is very bad. Double 3s is very bad. So what is it that I'm really hoping for? Let's say that he just rolls, I don't know, 5-6. Am I happy? So he missed me completely. Am I happy? Probably not, because hitting him again is going to be problematic, and I still need to get my back checker out. So I don't see that I'm happy in a lot of the rolls here. Again, just going over the sequences one by one. 3s are bad, 1s are bad. If he just enters with something, he's bad. So I'm not that happy in most of the cases. By the way, something that I learned from Zdeněk, I have to say, credit all goes to him and his wonderful world-class course. All right, so let's try 10-3. Let's see how that looks, please. All right, so again, we're pretty much playing evenish game. I'm probably a little bit better because of my board. I have more spares. I keep the position intact. Honestly, unless he rolls double sixes or double fours, anything else, I'm happy. Even if he rolls 5-3, 6-2, it makes the point. I'm still ahead because very soon he will have to give up the midpoint, and then I can just jump over him because I do have more spares to play. So here I don't see, apart from 2 rows that I'm gonna be unhappy, I'm happy with anything else that he rolls. So based on that, and based that playing 20 to 13, there's just so many sequences I'm not happy with. I think you just make the 3-point. And I'm going to base it on Mochy's third book, that when you're in advanced stage and the race is close, you should play a little bit more than defensive side. So again, this just gives me another something to help me in my decision, to reinforce my decision. So I'm going to go ahead and just remake the point.
Very good. And you are batting 1,000. You're right again by a lot. The hit, it would be way down here. It's a pretty big blunder. Making the 3-point is clearly right. I want to make one point. You said that the race was close, that if you don't hit, the race is close. If you hit, you're going to be up 15 pips, but there's all that danger.
But there's all that danger, correct?
Yeah. But here's something that I think is interesting. You know, my last quiz recently was with Matt Cohn-Geyer, and I mentioned to Matt, I always thought it was interesting that he keeps a running count from the very beginning of the race. John O'Hagan also does that. And John taught me a trick. I said, you know, I can't keep a running count because it gets so complicated when you hit. But he taught me a trick. If you hit from the 20-point, you gain 20 pips. If you hit from the 24-point, you gain 24 pips. So it's a real quick way to know how many pips you gain when you hit. You just add from the point that you hit, because you gain the 7 that you rolled plus the 13 that you hit. So it will always equal where you hit from. So I think it's an easy, interesting calculation as far as what happens to the race. Now, I know you can make the move and count the race or count the difference and figure it out, but why not? Anything you can do that's a shortcut, especially in counting, will make your game better. Again, congratulations. I think you nailed it. Do you have anything else to add about this position?
No. Again, what I would recommend to people who faces, again, do both plays and go over the sequences. Like if you play 20 to 13, what are you happy with? What are you unhappy with? If you make the 3-point, how does this look? So I saw that after I hit the 13, any 3s are bad, any 1s are bad. If it just enters with 5-2, I'm not happy. 1-1, I'm not happy. Even a 5-6, I'm not necessarily happy. So there's just too much rolls. Okay, if he dances, I'm happy. But other than that, I'm still going to have the problem of taking the back checker all around the board, which is not easy.
Okay, these things can be quickly seen by top players like Ido. If you made a mistake and hit here, and if you don't understand exactly all the reasons that Ido explained, the best thing I recommend is make the play that you don't understand, the hitting play, and put white on roll, change the roll because white would be on roll, and put it on cube action. And again, go to dice distribution and you'll see just how many rolls really hurt you in both ways. And you'll see that there's quite a few rolls that hurt you, and they hurt you really bad. You lose the match. You're over 100%. You lose the game and clear double and pass. And his worst rolls, you're still only a slight favorite, as you can see.
Exactly.
Go below 40%. So if he rolls real bad, you're a slight favorite. If he rolls real good, you're dead. And then you can compare it to the other position. And I do recommend moving it because you can see it better that way. I know
you can see it, exactly.
Yeah, you can do it without moving it, also by highlighting both dice distributions. But then now move the other play, go to analyze dice distribution, and look at this. There's only one roll that hurts you is double 6. That's
again,
it.
double 6s, double 4s. That's the 2 that I pointed out. Anything else, I don't mind actually.
Yeah, and so you're in the plus zone most of the time, or very close to it. Okay, exactly. Let's move on to the next one again. Very good, you got it right. Number 3. we always start out by looking at the score. 6 away, 5 away. Mochy is winning, and I have a well, I don't have a double one to play here from the bar. This should
Oh,
be
so it's a 2 away, 1 away.
yeah. This is 2 away, 1 away, and it should be a cube action problem. Right? Why is the double one showing even when I hit cube? There's something wrong with this. Let me control Shift C, Control V.
Are
Cube.
we in a Crawford or not Crawford?
2 away. No, this is a cube action. This is 5 away, 6 away, not 2 away.
Okay. Oh, 5 away, 6 away. Gotcha.
Yes, I always use the away score. By the way, you can right click on Extreme Gammon and you can have it show the absolute score, which is what most people are used to, or you can right click and make it into the away score. So Mochy is leading 2-1 or 5 away, 6 away. I'm red, I'm on roll. Should I double? And if I red double, should white take or pass? That's the question here.
Right, so is it the doubles for red? Well, any threes is a market loser. Probably most of your fives are market losers too, because even 3-2, 3-3 are still happy, and they're probably gonna be market losers. So you do have 20 market losers here. Now, if you dance, I would say that white is a favorite, but it's still not over for sure. This is definitely a difficult one, I have to say. I am not sure myself here. Definitely a difficult one. All right, so again, any threes I would say is a market losers. Probably most of the fives, maybe 5-1 isn't the best, but other than that, I think they're pretty much market losers. So we have about 20 market losers, and the other 16, I don't think they're that bad. Again, I'm not happy if I dance. I'm definitely not happy. But there's still some game because, again, he needs to do two things at once, which is not easy. He needs to get up as a 6, and he needs to cover his blood. And even if he does just one of them, we still have some life. So even if you go with something like 6 something, I can still probably do something. So based on that, and based that if I'm going to hit, I'm going to be very sorry that I don't have the cube. I think that, again, a hit probably will be resulting in a gammon. Probably. Based on that, I think send the key.
So you think you would double?
I think so.
And does red take or pass?
Oof, yeah, I think it's a take because I wasn't sure it's a double. I wasn't
Okay.
sure it's a double, so it must be.
Well, that gives me a chance to plug something that I invented many years ago called reverse Woolsey's law. If you are not sure it's a double and somebody gives you the double, then
Exactly.
it's always a take. So
exactly. So I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure it's the double. So the take is clear to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's what happened. I did not double, and it was a double, which surprised me because when I use O'Hagan's law, and it's a big double, and I missed.
Wow.
When I use O'Hagan's law, I see 20 market losers, but I see 16 anti-market losers, and you didn't think those 16 were really all anti-market losers. So here's what's interesting. I did not double, and I fanned, and now Mochy's on roll. What do you think happened? What's the cube?
I have to admit that I'm shocked it's such a big blunder not to double this.
Yeah, I'm shocked too, because I thought about it a long time and I didn't double, but I should have. Now, Mochy, I danced. What's the cube action now?
Okay, so you didn't double and you danced, and now he needs to double. All right. Yeah. I'm not even sure you can take this. So it's an easy double.
Okay, he did double. I passed. Mochy said, Phil, it might be a take. I think it might be a take. And I happen to be
right. It could be. I'm not sure.
It was a small pass. It was a small pass.
Okay.
Look how small. But I did pass. He did double. But this was an interesting sequence. But you're very good. You're getting all these right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, here I was more confident. Again, I'm just shocked the last position is so.
Well, you answered my questionnaire. I sent a questionnaire to everybody because I'm doing the commentary for the UBC that's coming, and I got a really interesting, fun answer from one of my real heroes of the game, another one of our fellow teachers, Dirk Sheeman. I said to Dirk, "Do you have a tip at all?" He says, "Yeah, when in doubt, double." That's his tip. I think it's a great tip. And by the way, sometimes you get you shouldn't have doubled, but you get a pass. Sometimes you double when you're a little too good and you still get a take. So when in double, I like that.
Agree. And something else that I do, I'm playing the odds. So to be honest, I had no idea it's such a big blunder. I had no idea. But sometimes in this position, I know that one of two things can happen. One, it's a small no double, or reversely, it can be a blunder. Sorry, it can be a blunder. So I'm just saying, you know what? Stick in the cube. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna get a small mistake, but at least I'm going to avoid the blunder.
That's another one of Dirk's laws. He said, if I have a choice between two things, I ask myself which one might be a blunder, and then I'll do the other. Yeah.
Exactly.
Very good. Exactly. Very good. I can see now why you're such a good player and a good teacher. Let's go on. Number 3. Okay. 6 away, 5 away. We just did this.
Yes, we just
did this. I'm sorry. Okay, you got that already. It's a double and a very, very small pass. And that's what we did. So I'm happy I got that one right. Okay. So now it is 2 away, 4 away, that magical score. And I'm 4 away and Mochy's 2 away and I'm on roll. And because of the score, I was seriously thinking about doubling here. Should I double or not? And should Mochy take her pass if I double?
Okay, usually at these scores, so again, red is the one on roll, red is 4 away. I would say double for sure. That's again, at these scores, if you just have a little bit of gammons and some winning chances, you should double. So based on this, I think it's a double. And even if it's not a double, at this score, it's probably never that wrong. At least that's what I feel. Because again, when you're 4 away, 2 away, you're just hyper gambling. And if you can roll 1, 6, 2, 5, or just make the 4 point, you'll be wish you had the stick in the cube. So I would say double here for sure. Even if I'm wrong, it can't be a blunder. At least I hope it's not. That's what I'm basing. And as far as the take, I think White has a good game going on here. Still, doesn't lose all that many gammons, maybe 15-20%, but nothing serious. Have a good 4-point prime. Maybe can make the 8 point. So I think it's a big.
Okay, let's take a look. I missed this double. I did not double. I teach this all the time, but because he had the anchor, I didn't think there was that many gammons, so I didn't want to activate gammons, and I missed the double, and it's a big take, but I did not double. But here's the other thing to keep in mind. I'm sure you already know this, but very well, but I want to make sure some of our audience may be a little lower level. If I were to double this cube and I win a gammon, I win the match. If he wins a gammon, it means nothing. So turning the cube takes gammons. The 12% gammons that he would win are now worth 0, and the 17.5% gammons that I win are now worth 1. So that's the huge reason, as Ido pointed out, but that's the numbers. That's how the numbers work. So anytime your opponent is 2 away and you're more than 2 away and you give the cube, it completely wipes out your opponent's gammons. And also, when you put that kind of pressure on him where a gammon loses the match, you might win more games because he has to play more carefully. So that also might decrease his wins if I turn the cube, because he can't afford to make some of the plays he would normally make to win the game.
Correct. And again, this is, as I said, this is a very hyper gammonish score. 4 away, 2 away is the most gammonish score that exists in backgammon. even if you're not sure sticking the cube, it can never be that wrong as far as you win some games. And again, we can even do a drill. Can you just set the ball from the start?
Let me show you my reference position. I'm 4 away, and I roll a 5-3, and he splits. It's a double.
It's a double, exactly. Just to show that this is a double.
Yeah, and in other scores, it wouldn't be close.
Exactly. So anything, almost anything here is a double. Even if you roll a 6-4, you should make the 2 point. If he splits, you double.
Okay, so I know this, but I still missed the double. It was a 5.5% error, which I think for a cube error is not a real big error because
no, that's true.
But I'm still mad that I missed it. Okay, let's move on. Number 5. Okay, this is the same score. I did not double. I'm red and I'm on roll now. What's the cube action?
All right, so you missed the double. We're pretty much at the same score. And all right. Maybe now you should be playing with the gammons. That's interesting. But still, you don't see the light with one checker, which bothers me. Again, if both checkers saw the light, I am pretty much convinced that this is too good. But when you don't see the light with one, I don't know. It bothers me a bit. I would probably cube this. Again, bothers me that I don't see the light with one checker. It bothers me a bit. So I think I would double it and just cash the game. He can never.
And does white take or pass?
A pass, he can never.
Yeah. So you're saying you double, and
I think so.
And it is too good.
Okay.
It is too good. By the way, I believe some people would take this cube, thinking that red might crash and not get out. It takes an average of 6 rolls for red to move this back checker from here to here. But you got 6 rolls, especially after you roll the first 6.
If you roll the 6,
yeah. But at this score in particular, it's too good. What do you think? What do you think for 7 away, 7 away? Just double pass?
For 7 away, 7 away?
Yeah.
I think so. Or maybe very close. It's a double for sure. The pass is very doubtful, I believe. Very, very doubtful.
Let's take a look. I don't know the answer. It just occurred to me to look
very doubtful.
Yeah,
very doubtful.
The double and a take. Look at that.
Very doubtful. Yeah, I have to. I wouldn't take this.
Okay,
this is just. You know what? You want the point? Take it.
Yeah, this is another good illustration. And I tell people all the time why match play is so much more complex than money play. Because the score affects things so much. Here's an identical position where at one score it's too good and a pass, and another score it's a take. So that shows you how critical knowing these gammon values and take points and recube vig, and why the match play is just so much more intellectually challenging. Okay, so you missed one finally by a little bit, but
what can I do? We're never perfect. If we were perfect, we were. I would be playing like Mochy.
Well, or my last quiz, if you go to my YouTube channel, I just gave Matt Congayer a 9-question quiz and he got them all right. But Mike Congayer, I put him up there in Mochy's class. And you're darn close too, by the way. Let's not belittle you. Okay, 3 away, 2 away, and white is on roll. And
white is on roll. Okay.
What's the cube action here?
Cube action, all right. Let's think about this a little bit. All right, so for white, the cash point is very, very passive. No, actually in a gammonless position, which maybe some gammons, he tends to cube here at 75%. That's his cash point, only if it's in a gammonless position. In gammonish positions, you just better off playing for the gammon, but I don't know how many gammons you have.
Okay,
here.
so white's cash point is 75%. Obviously,
in gammonless.
Obviously, red's take point is 25%.
Yes, correct.
Because if he passes, He passes, he's 1 away, 3 away, and he has to win 2 games in a row. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Again, the best that I can do here is just estimate the odds. And again, I have nothing to base it on, just a hunch that I have. Okay, so what do I think the winning percentage are? I think that white is a clear favorite. I would say definitely more than 65%, maybe kissing 70, maybe, yeah, maybe 68, 69, 70, I would say. Let's say 68, 69 sounds reasonable to me. His gammons are worthless, so I'm not going to take it into account because if he doubles the score, his gammons worth nothing.
They're worth nothing if red takes.
Yes, correct. That's what I'm basing my assumption.
Let me explain this a little bit. If red takes the cube here, he will automatically recube to 4, so gammons won't matter. That's, you know, the things that you think of in your head are not necessarily known by all the people watching our video.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Yes. So again, here, of course, if white doubles and red takes, again, white only needs the 2 points, so his gammons worth nothing. Red gammons, definitely, again, if he doubles, worth nothing, but at this stage, if he just takes and continue on playing, worth just a little bit more, about 0.5. That's the gammon value. So again, my estimation is about 68, 32, 69, 31, something like that. Based on that, and the cash point is 75%, we are too far away. The double window, and again, I'm talking in things that maybe all people don't know, but the double window, if the cash point is 75%, the double window is very, very narrow, which means we can double, for example, for money, the cash point is 78%, we can double if we are even 70, 71%, we can even double. At this score, we need to be much, much closer. We need to be at like 73% to offer a cube here, extremely close. And I just don't think we're there. I think we're like 69, 31. So based on that, we're just a little bit far away. So no double take.
Okay, let me show you the answer. And Mochy did not agree with you. He doubled. And I'll show you that Mochy was wrong, except for one thing. I passed.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think I had 25%. And your estimations were beautiful again. You're right on.
A little below, but still acceptable.
Yeah, I really thought I had less than 25% here. And you're proving why here. Wait a minute, I rolled this one out. I'm going to show you the answer rolled out because it was close. The rollouts, I always trust the rollout a little bit more, but the rollout's pretty close to the same thing. So here, the big thing was Mochy doubled and he was wrong. It was a little bit too early, but he was doubling Phil Simborg, not Ido. If he was doubling Ido, it would be wrong because you would take. But he doubled me and I passed. So, but by the way, he still played at 1.6, so he couldn't be.
It's not that bad because again, he can double as when he's about 73%. So if he was 73%, it's a double. He's 72, it's not that far away. It can't be that wrong. In fact, in practical games, it's actually good to double.
Yeah, I didn't think I had 25%. I got 28%. I was only off by 3%. And that turns into a very large blunder with the cube. That's why PR, when you're looking at the PRs, cube errors really hurt you a lot more. A small mental cube error can cost you a lot of PR, whereas a small mental checker play error will not usually cost you that much. Ido, you missed one, the one that was too good. Your explanations were beautiful. I think I'm going to bet on you this weekend to win the UBC when you come here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Let's get together and spend some time together because
I would love it. Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to get to know you more. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And thank you very much for doing this.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you also proved who you are. You're great. And again, go to www.backgammonlearningcenter.com and you'll see what kind of great teachers we have. A guy named Mochy teaches for us, and Dirk and John O'Hagan and Steve Sachs and David Presser and Frank Talbot. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Bob Wachtel, Tobias, Matt Cohn-Geyer. These are all our teachers. They're amazing. David Wells, and I add Ido to that list of our really amazing teachers and players. See you. I'll see you tomorrow, Ido.
Yes, of course. See you tomorrow. Bye.